What the jerk is up? Gender here, back at it again with another video. It is time for the April plan. Happy April's Fools. Hopefully your Star Force event went well if you did decide to spend. I, however, am saving up for the big one on April 12th. And as for my April Fools, well, I'm recording this video on the 29th of March. So it's not April 1st, but hey, this is being uploaded on April 1st. At least April 1st reset for my time zone. But yes, thought I'll go through the April plan, another standard series of the channel. Every first of the month, I will go through what's to come, what is my game plan for this month of Maplestory. We have the, what chair is this? I saw this chair in my inventory, I'm like, oh, this looks nice. It is the New Leaf City Mall one, the Mesotron, starring the greatest of the greatest, and the Wild Hunter. I'm not sure if I can show it in Legion. There it is. It's got the illusion ring on, and it doesn't come up on the chair. But the Wild Hunter is 260, and it looks like a Muppet during this. So this will get replaced with someone that actually looks nice. We've got the squad here. I think the Ren will replace one of these guys, and then one of these guys will get demoted to this spot and it'll look much better. But it's a great chair to show off all the characters. I just need this face to come back so we can have a full Mesotron of this face. Anyway, let's get into the actual plan of April. So we start off with the Epic Dungeon coming out at Reset, and I think how I'm going to transition, how I separate my Epic Dungeons is because currently the Kana and Haido are getting High Mountain and Angler Company as I push them towards my initial goal of having 3k frags and all Legion champions. Now I'm probably going to change it, and now the Adele is going to get the level 281. I forgot what it was called. Epic Nightmare something. And then I will most likely give Angler Company still to the Haido, or maybe even put it on the Blaster since that does need some love. But yeah, I'll be a bit more yeah, the Kana will probably get downgraded a little bit as I work on the actual Legion champions, because the Kana doesn't need a lot of work on right now. It's like, it's a glorified C10 meal until champion slot 5 comes out. Alright, moving forward, again, the Prog series will continue every Thursday at Reset. Of course, gets recorded the day before. And then nothing is really happening this month, or sorry, this week. We really just have just Sunday, which is Monster Park, Monster Park, and then the Treasure Hunter. So that'll be a decent thing to boost up some of the meals. And then the big one coming up will obviously be April 12th, which is the big Star Force event. And then I do plan on leaping the Ren, just so I have more money to play with, and I can actually gear up the Dawn Warrior and Shade, and I do hope I can take both of them. I'm hoping they both get to around 60 mil CP. I will have around 140, 160-ish bill to play with, but we'll see what happens. I could get lucky, I could get unlucky. Ideally, I'll get them both up. Anyway, that's going to be a big day, especially if the Ren is brought over to Kronos. I need to make sure I remember that, because when I first used the the World Lip system, like, oh, Hyperion sounds cool. Wait a minute, which server am I on? Yeah, I don't, because it actually recommends you to go to Hyperion, where I just assumed, oh, that's the server I have most of my characters on. And yeah, look, I haven't done it yet. I do not want to do it on the Ren. That would be the greatest int ever. Like, oh my goodness. Support would not help me if I did that. So that's a pretty big day. And then moving forward, well, before we move forward, that does mean I have a time limit on the Ren's challenges. We'll go through the challenges a bit later, but I have, what, 12 days. Well, okay. Let's do the calendar first, because there's some more stuff I want to talk about the Ren and what I do plan to do it with. I can speak properly. There are more plans about the Ren. We'll go in further later. All right, moving on. For whatever reason, April 14th is when when all the One Punch Man events end. I don't know why they did this, but we're going to a little light bulb over here, and we can see, what's the best one? The Monster Park Mayhem. We only got one more week of this. Barely see it. But if we click on the, I know, you can see up in the corner here. Yeah, it ends on the 14th, for whatever reason. And then we still have 1 week until the actual patch. So that's a little weird that they're doing it like that, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, all these events will disappear, which is kind of annoying. I don't really want to see these go. It does mean I'll need to figure out if I want to get the Saitama to 250, just for, ideally 250 for the big boy potion, then 255 is kind of like a stretch goal. Get the finisher, which might be alright. And then April 16th will be Ep 13 of the Prog series, and then we should get a cheeky patch preview around this time, because in the week after will be patch day. And then most interestingly of them all, we should potentially be getting an Inkwell note on April 17th. I wonder if I can bring it up. I need to have this saved. This is also not the first time I'm recording this video since Streamlabs decided to corrupt my previous stuff. All right, let me bring this up. So if I bring up Inkwell note, let's see if I can bring up. This is completely scuffed. Fuck. This is awful. All right, so the last one we got was on January 30th. But on April 17th, 2025, we got the 20th anniversary Inkwell note. And then the first ever Inkwell note was also on, you guessed it, April 17th, 2024. So that is quite interesting. I fully expect we'll be getting one on April 17th again this year. Ideally, I want Unified Cash Shop to be mentioned, Frags Improvements to be mentioned. I hope rental gear is being confirmed to stay, make it an evergreen system, just like the, what's it called? The profession farming one. Where is it? This one. I don't know why it's in the event tab, but it is the, I'm blind. Where the fuck did it go? I don't think I've accepted it on the Dell. That's why I can't see it. But yeah, the professions one, it's so good. It's fantastic. They should just declare that, yes, we are keeping it. And of course, a roadmap, because this April patch is actually going to be longer than any other patches we've had for like February and March. This one's going to last all the way until like June 12th-ish. Where is it? It's going to last until like all of May, and then like the first week or two of June. It is a big one. It is a big patch. I think they even talked about, I think it was in the latest one, when they mentioned the Star Force changes. They may, where is it? I can quickly find it. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, went too far. Star Force. It's so annoying. This whole image, this whole text is just an image, so you can't actually control find. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to say, yeah, June 17th. So yeah, it's going to be May 22nd to June 17th. So that's like a 7-week patch. It's a big one. Ideally, we get a roadmap. But what I do believe will be talked about is just Classic Server and Erel. Like, I don't think anything else will be discussed. As for what we'll be getting from the patch, it'll be a Hyperburn, it'll be Classic Server, and I think it also will be Erel. Erel will either come out April patch, or it will come out for Crown for the June patch. And this really depends if they want to give us both Erel and the Kinesis remaster. Whereas, like, since this is because like, well, they did that with like the first Challenger World, they released Seer for that, and it's like, well, you gonna do that again for Erel? But again, Kinesis is gonna get remastered. We'll see what happens. We'll find out in 2 weeks. And then the final Sunny Sunday will be a Rune Day, which will be good to get any of the characters up. And then, of course, April 21st will mark the end of Challenger World, the end of the Goddess Blessing Pass, and then rental gear, as we know it, will be gone. Please come back. I have not gotten a Raw 4 on the Ren. Oh god, the Ren is going to be so sad so soon. And clearing, like, it'll just make all my C10 meals just so much slower without a Raw. So fingers crossed, we do get rental gear hit, it is a thing that will stay. Then patch day will be April 22nd. We will be getting Hyperburn. That is more or less guaranteed because we are just going to get whatever KMS got last year. KMS also got a haste event, which would be fantastic if we also got one of those. And then for the final 2 weeks of April, we'll just have Ep 14 and 15 of the Prog series. All right, so that's April in a nutshell. What will I be doing on the characters during April? So first up, leveling. So I've kind of like streamlined this back a bit to actually go through what's actually plausible with how much time I have. So the Hayato will be getting 1 level. This is just through Monster Park Extreme and Grandest dailies. And I think it's expected to hit around the 10th-ish. So that'd be great. Then I can start moving Monster Parks to other characters. I'll probably just be upping maybe just the Kana and the Blaster as they slowly move forward to 275. Blaster will be getting a bit of love by hitting 270. There'll be 3 of those big boy potions, the 269 potions, and then the 10k tickets from the Goddess Pass. I'm putting them all into the Blaster, and it should, I think it'll be the full 5 levels, just like that. Just bingo, bango, boom. Go from 265 to 270, which would be a great +1 to the Blaster. It'll start getting Odium symbols. And depending how it goes, the Blaster may even get more love, is I will have a vac pet on my resistance classes for the next, I think, 25 days. The Demon Slayer as well needs to be manually trained. Even with the perks of the Goddess Pass, it is not enough to offset any other training that I need to do. Thankfully, the Wild Hunter is already 260, and I can start pushing Monster Park and Symbol Daily EXP into the Demon Slayer, but it is not enough. Even with all the mag pots we get, all the free tickets we get, it is not enough unless I do some manual training, which isn't that bad since the SS can do PP farming even before getting Dusk. It's just a little bit of a drainer because it's like I don't have Meso gear on this. I don't really want to spend money on it, so it is I am overextending myself doing this, but I am still having I am enjoying myself. Like, I don't think I'd be enjoying myself if I didn't have the Goddess Pass. I think that's probably a big motivator. But if this ever happens again, we'll talk about it a bit more going forward. I am not doing 2 classes at once per patch. This was supposed to be a 1-patch project of just the Wild Hunter, and the Wild Hunter would have been juiced if it had all the benefits from the Goddess Pass. And then, of course, Saitama, I think it's like 247 now, so I can update this. And it's getting close to 250. 250 is kind of like the stretch goal that I initially had in mind, just for the 269 Tenet potion. Just so, because you need to kill Healer for it, the Healer. And then 255 is really if I want the finisher. So I'm not sure if I really care about that. If they didn't, if Saitama had serious face on when performing the finisher, maybe, but I'm not a huge fan of his goofy look. So yeah. Alright, and of course, Star Force plans on April 12th. I ideally want to get the Shade and Dawn Warrior to at least the following: 21 star CIAs, weapons to 18 star, ring to 21 star, which does mean I need to do Maester. I think I can just get Maester. I did some yesterday, and I just need one like full day of doing the full 600 fatigue, and then they'll both be ready and be able to craft some Maester ranks on the day, which is great because I have like a billion primal essences. And then of course the 21 stars Absols. Now I had the it's a reigning discussion of like, do I just do 4-set arcanes to 18 star, or do I go the extra mile and put 21 star Absols on these things? And I think I've spoken about this in a previous video, but my idea is that, well, I am gearing up 6 Legend Champions. The 6 Legend Champions will have full arcanes. One, on the contrary, the Kana will have Absols instead, but that's only because the Kana is strong. I am seeing if I can get away with 21 star Absols. Worst case scenario, I can just make the switch or take the L and just go to full 22 arcanes. Who cares? It's just money. But I am focused on other characters before that, like the Adele is still 20 stars, while the Hayato and the Blaster all have 18 stars, and then also the Ren has, it's like 21, 21, 19, and 19. And all those will be ideally 22 stars before I even think about even working on the Kana. And that's a lot of arcane spares that need to be into those 4 characters first, which means all the Citati meals will just get all the Absols. I'm getting to the point where I'm running out of meals to actually gear up with like Absol spares. So I may not even have to do the transfer attack anymore, and I could just stack Absols eventually. But right now I'm still gearing them up just for a rainy day, who knows. But it does change a little bit with how I want to actually make new characters in the future. But we'll get that into the last segment. But yes, to wrap up Star Force plans, I ideally want to do at least just these 4 things first, as everything else can be supplemented with the rental gear. But in saying that, rental gear is going away potentially forever. We like, surely it comes back. Surely it comes back and it's approved upon. Please, Nexus, just please. But we'll see what happens. And finally, well, this is the second last segment of April plan, but we have boss challenges for the month. The biggest one is the Ren. Ren is sitting around 60k Hexa, and it can... Normal Kalos is a min clear. It's a full-on 30-minute slugfest, but all the others are relatively easy, or much simpler than Kalos. Hard Saren is like 15 minutes. Easy Kalos is, I think, like 10 minutes. I actually did some... I loved it out a little bit, and I was able to get to the last segment of Phase 2 without even like fully understanding the mechanics. So it's pretty much nearly one burst, like 2 minutes per segment, pretty much. Like Phase 1, it's a full origin burst, and then each segment in Phase 2 is like a burst, and then DPMing for like a minute or 90 seconds, and then that's it. I just need to get comfortable with disabling the tests. Well, learning how to move around the test and disabling the systems. As for Carling and Adversary, I've entered the boss rooms once each. That's about it. And I'm not sure if I'm even going to be bothering with normal Kalos. At the very least, if I'm not soloing Hard Saren, I should be at least doing it in a party just so I become more familiar with the mechanics. And yeah. As for the Adele is absolutely ready to take on Black Mage and Hard Saren. With the changes to the with balance changes now, Adele is just far better and far easier to pilot. Black Mage is still annoying, as I am not too comfortable with how to deal with the attack combos, especially in Phase 3 of Black Mage. I ended up giving up yesterday, well, before the end of March, because I just didn't have the mental to do it, so I just joined a pug and just blew it up, which was great. Quick way to make a build. But ideally, want to do the champion mission on the Adele, and of course, need to start labbing out Hard Saren on it as well. But again, it's not really a priority. I'll get there when I get there. Blaster as well. It's currently, it can do Black Mage. Same with the Hayato. Hayato is in, I think, a far better position because it's about hit 275. They wouldn't reach the damage reduction. But Blaster definitely has the damage. I just need to lab it out. These are also like all these champion missions that I can do for some free damage. And I think once Blaster has enough sack, it can also do Hard Saren. So at the very least, I'm clearing these bosses every month now in a party, but I do want to work towards being able to solo them. All right, sorry, this is now the second last segment because there is one more, which is more of a brief insight to future projects. But we now have a new category, the back burner. So from the top, as of March 30th, the vac pet on the Ren has died. It's died. It needs to be revived. But I do have two other active back pets that can't be revived, one being on the Hayato / Kana, and the other being on the Resistance branch. So I may just put more attention on that, which does mean I won't be farming on the Ren every 30, like for 30 minutes every day. I think that's fine. Like, something has to give. I can't like always like, I'm already doing too many things on the game, and I need to start removing things. So 30-minute farming sessions a day on the Ren will stop, and any farming will be stopped on the Ren, which further incentivizes to bring the character over to Kronos when it's time. And then the big one is when I'm gearing up potential new characters. So the next big character, like if we like Hyperburn should be coming in April. I won't touch the hero, which I do plan on. That's my main target right now. I won't touch it or give it any more upgrades. Like I could have used the honor event to fix its honor. I could be gearing up a bit more, getting it 5th job, all that stuff, like starting to do Golics on it. But in the same event, if this Goddess Pass comes back for April, I don't want to have to hyperburn the hero, then use a new character, and have to slog it through 200 or 260. It's just doing it once and that's it. I don't want to do it ever again, especially with the XP range halving in 6 months. Like, I am just doing way more work than I need to be. And like, as I said, if I just remade the Wild Hunter, I could have been 260 in 30 minutes and like had all the perks of Burn plus the Goddess Pass. And yeah, that's don't want to do it again. It's pretty much that. In the same vein, this is why I'm not tempted to rank up the End Slime Meals unless we get a burning that doesn't have any other event attached to it, and then may use the burn coupon on one of my End Slime Meals. There's always a scenario where I have it either just makes them doing End Slime easier, or I could just make them a C10 meal and start doing like less bosses on other characters. I could just do like, where is it? Where's the list? I could just do, make sure you guys can see this. I could do like Dark Nail, Healer, Gloom Wheel, Lucid, Slime, Damien, Lotus. Just do these. Maybe even to a lesser extent, also can do a Catchy and Pap. And then everything else, which makes under 100 mil, not do. And that there is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bosses. So if I do 10 bosses, I could have up to 18 characters, which is, look, there's room to grow, as basically. Like, I don't have to settle just for the 13 characters that I plan to make, or the 7 C10 meals that I want to make, plus the 6th Edition champions. This is like far into the future, because they're always going to be making more classes, more remasters, more reworks, more burnings. I don't have to like feel shoehorned and be like, oh, these are the 13 that I'm going to make, and that's it. So it may change. Like, things just may change. But yes, more inclined on just making new characters than rather to do what I already have, just in case they also add in more things like the Goddess Pass, which is. And then, of course, a small little section is future projects. These are ones going to be on the horizon. Erel could be up, like, this could happen next patch. The hero could be delayed, and Erel could be the focus. And if Erel's the focus in April, then Zero will be the focus for Challenger World 3. But if they're releasing Erel with Crown, I'll have to decide if I want to make the Erel the Zero, which then will make the Zero a C10 mule side project, which is a little awkward since it's a character that kind of needs. The Zero kind of needs more love, like a Challenger World level of love, which will automatically make it a Legion champion. So I'm still on the fence if I want to make a Zero at all, because they are quite intensive. They're a DPM class, where I do prefer more burst-oriented classes. At the same time, that means the Zero has more dab, which is kind of cool. And then here is like the cookie cutter Mario or Maplestory. Just a decent, solid class all around that I do want to play. But yeah, that will wrap it up for the April plan. As always, thank you all for watching and have a fucking good day on the next one.